Yeah.
And there you see Mikey Whipwreck, who's, an ECW original, former world champion, actually held a pinfall win over Stone Cold Steve Austin in the ECW. Now he's gone off to greener pastures, had a little bit of a run in WCW, and now we've got Lou E. Dangerously, not Paul, but Lou E. Dangerously.
Mm-hmm.
This is like the original cosplay in wrestling, is it not?
Yes, it is.
He does a great job with it too.
Yeah, with the exception of, have you had enough of, and we say it here because we are, you and I, Southern rednecks, but have you had enough of everybody calling people in the South redneck pieces of trash? I was thinking about that driving to New Orleans for the Sugar Bowl. And we're going through Montgomery and we're going through Mobile. And then we go across the bottom there and we go across through Biloxi and Gulfport and Mississippi and all that. And then I get in. So I'm thinking as I'm driving here, I'm thinking, you know what? This is a hell of a part of the country to live in. This is great people and a great life. And, fuck everybody that thinks that we're just fucking idiots.
Tony,
because we're not.
Heat. He's trying to get heat.
Well, I know that. I was talking about on a national level.
I don't give a fuck what anybody thinks about us nationally. I like that they don't want to live here. It means there's more space and less aggravation for guys like me and you.
That's a good point.
Let them go to the butthole of America. Let them live in like Cleveland or Pittsburgh or fucking New Jersey. Who wants to live in those places?
They're good places all around. And I get that. Sometimes I get pissed off about people shitting on the South.
I'm just kidding. But anyway, everybody knows the buttholes in Detroit. Come on.
Well, yes, it's around here.
I've had a lot of fun in Ohio and New Jersey. I don't know that anybody's ever had any fun in fucking Detroit. I mean, the goddamn Giant got murdered there.
I was saying the Giant fell off a roof.
Yeah. When y'all had him wrestling in Detroit, y'all came up with the bright idea of pushing him off the fucking building. You bring him to Birmingham, he wants to tussle with children.
Is this a handicap match we got here?
Well, I don't know that it was going to start that way or it was intended to start that way, but here it is. I think it was supposed to be. I mean, I don't know. I think it's C.W. Anderson versus Mikey Whipwreck.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, look like CW's partner, which, by the way, it seems like they're just the same.
Well, his partner, by the way, is Bill Wiles, but I think he would also be known as, it's like an ECW impersonator gimmick, like Elvis Wesley or something like that instead of Elvis Presley.
One thing I noticed, and I guess I should have noticed it before, is that the ringside camera work tried to be a little bit different than other camera work as well. Mm-hmm. In other words, the basic, wow, that was a hell of a bump.
Yeah, he should not have done that.
But basically, camera work at ringside is, try to be as stationary as you can. But as you can tell, they're moving the camera with the action here, trying to create a, kind of a different aura. Movement. The thing in wrestling, by the way, shout out to Mikey Whipwreck. Dude to sacrifice so much for wrestling, gone on to be a fairly prolific trainer in his own right. But my goodness, did he take a hell of a bump to the floor there. I mean, I felt like it was that scene in that 80s movie when he landed at the feet of those kids. I needed one of those kids to look to his friends and say, "Hey, y'all want to see a dead body?" Because that's what it looked like. My goodness. But no, I think that the camera work, the guy who's responsible for that now heads up camera work for that indie promotion that's on cable, like one of those Spanish soccer channels. So he's still doing something in wrestling, which is cool. And I think he's probably the first guy to do these tight cuts and things like that a lot of people criticize WWE for now. But JJ Dillon told me once upon a time that was a Kevin Dunn directive where whenever there was action, impact, he wanted there to be a camera switch because apparently there was one show in particular, and which one I forget, but the blow that the guy sold missed by a mile. And because it missed by a mile, it was, kind of embarrassing, and it was just plain as day on camera, and the guy sold it. So Kevin Dunn's attitude was, we have to cover that up as best we can. So, where they can't be perfect, we have to sort of fill in the gaps for them. If they're perfect every time, great. Our job is easy, but that's an unrealistic expectation. So let's do our part to make them look as good as we can. And let's do a quick cut. So on impact, you would see a quick cut, and that has obviously grown in time. And now where there's not a lot of movement, because they think from a production standpoint, that's what makes a television or an action show feel like there's more action, create the illusion of movement. So if Kevin Nash isn't moving, just move the camera and it will make it feel more live action, more action packed, more exciting. That's the theory. Not everybody is, Rey Mysterio or the Young Bucks.
Yeah. And that's good. And the guy you're talking about, the cameraman you were talking about before you're talking about Dunn, is Charlie, who's a good guy, good cameraman. I've worked with him. He knows his stuff and he's a pro. And I think a lot of times we look past as wrestling fans, and as not only as I don't do this, I can promise you this, but as people who work in wrestling, we kind of overlook the guys who shoot the shows for it, especially the guys with the handhelds. Those guys do hell of a work, man. They are great guys. They love the business, and so I have a lot of time for them. And looks like they're in harm's way, man.
C.W. Anderson has a foreign object.
Oh,
that's the old cell phone of Lou E. And bam, spine buster out of nowhere. That gets it done. C.W. Anderson picks up the victory. Meltzer would give this one a star and a quarter.
Even with all those bumps, a star and a quarter.
Well, Meltzer didn't really like that. He thought there was too much interference and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, that's our buddy Dave fucking booking again. Is that you helping him up? No, that's his partner. Sorry.
That's Bill Wiles, AKA Belvis Wesley. How about Ronnie from Atlas Security?
Yeah, I know Ronnie, man. He's still around.
He's the ghost of Christmas past. Looks like him too.
I thought that match was much better than a star and a half. Here's Don Calais again with
this is my new
Joey.
favorite thing. You calling him Calais?
Do you know the fact that Joey has walked away from the business, and that
very
Mike
Schiavone like, isn't it?
Yeah, that Mike today has walked away from the business, kind of weird. It's like, if I had a few more years left in me, they do.
Well, I don't have time to do podcasts with everybody, Tony.
Oh, that's right. You got to start with Conrad and then move on. I get it.
Not your classy podcast. Watch along, try not to laugh. Lowest rules can't pass. This wasn't the initial plan. Tom Zig's a good looking